blues fans. Glad you found us. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues. It's our weekly take on blues history. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen, with the blues band Big Train and the Locomotives. And I know a lot of you are keeping track of this because you write in and you tell me. And this week's episode is brought to you by Chris P. Bacon. Chris P. Bacon. So anyway, let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. Blues guitarist and singer Mel Brown was born on October 7th, 1939 in Jackson, Mississippi. He's best remembered for his decade-long backing of Bobby Bland. Although in his own right, Brown recorded over a dozen albums between 1967 and 2006. Mel Brown was given his first guitar as a teenager while recovering from a bout of meningitis. By 1955, he was performing backing duties for both Sonny Boy Williamson and Jimmy Beasley. Brown had a 2-year-long stint backing Johnny Otis. This led to work with Etta James, where he swapped his Gibson Les Paul for a Gibson ES 175 to give him a richer, fuller tone to his guitar that set him apart from his contemporaries. On October 8, 1969, B.B. King recorded The Thrill Is Gone, and it's often considered to be the record that crossed B.B. King over into the pop market. While he had other entries in the pop markets dating back to 1957, no B.B. King record had reached the pop chart peak of The Thrill Is Gone. Its success boosted King to another level of the entertainment industry, and he soon became a familiar face on television and in concert halls around the world. Blues musician and instrument maker Lonnie Pitchford was born October 8, 1955. He was notable in that he was one of only a handful of young African-American musicians from Mississippi who had learned and was continuing the Delta blues and country blues traditions of the older generations. In addition to the acoustic and electric guitar, Pitchford was also skilled at a one-string guitar called a diddly bow. It's a one-string instrument of African origin, and he also was good at the double bass, piano, and harmonica. Electric blues guitarist Johnny Bassett was born October 9th in 1935. He grew up with blues music all around him in his native Florida. His unique ability to combine jump blues and Delta stylings gave his playing a really distinctive sound. Now, this self-taught guitarist recalled seeing Tampa Red, Arthur Big Boy Crudup, and other classic blues artists at fish fries in his grandmother's backyard. After Bassett's family moved to Detroit in 1944, he made his debut as a guitarist with Joe Weaver and the Blue Notes, a teenage R&B band. The group won local talent contests and was hired to back up Big Joe Turner, Ruth Brown, and others on their tour stops in Detroit. Bluesman and local civil rights leader Wade Walton was born October 10th, 1919. His fame comes from his barbershop, and he counted many famous musicians among his friends, colleagues, and customers. Walton played in the Kings of Rhythm with Ike Turner, but stayed in Clarksdale, Mississippi, working as a bartender when Turner took the group national. Many musicians and other notable people would visit Walton's barbershop to play music or just hang out, including Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Sonny Boy Williamson, and Allen Ginsberg. Delta blues singer and guitarist Mississippi Joe Callicott was born October 10th in 1899 in Nesbit, Mississippi. Although his early recording career resulted in only 2 songs issued in 1930, Joe Callicott is often regarded as one of Mississippi's finest early bluesmen. His guitar work was also featured with local bluesman Garfield Akers on Cottonfield Blues, a classic 1929 single that illustrated how blues developed from field hollers. In the late 1960s, Callicott recorded more extensively for folklorists and served as a mentor to Nesbit guitarist Kenny Brown. Harmonica Frank was born October 11th, 1908 in Toccopola, Mississippi. He was a son of itinerant parents who separated without giving him a name. He was raised by his sharecropping grandparents, who died while he was a teenager. He taught himself to play guitar when he was 10 years old, and eventually learned guitar. He gave himself the name Frank Floyd and began performing in the 1920s for traveling carnivals and medicine shows. Guitar Gabriel was born October 12, 1925. His unique style of guitar playing, which he referred to as toot blues, combined Piedmont, Chicago, and Texas blues, as well as gospel. Now, by the age of 15, he traveled playing the guitar in medicine shows during the late 1920s. It's during this time when he found his trademark white sheepskin hat. During the course of his career, he performed with artists such as Bo Diddley, Lightnin' Hopkins, Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, T-Bone Walker, and Jimmy Red. R&B singer Nappy Brown was born October 12th in 1929. He began his career singing gospel music before switching to R&B. In 1954, he won a recording contract with Savoy Records, which yielded a string of hits. Brown's powerful voice, combined with his distinctive emotive style, was widely viewed as a key link in the development of soul music. Bellowing the blues with gospel-inspired ferocity, Brown rode rock and roll's first wave for a few good years before his records stopped selling. Well, blues fans, now we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or some of the other things that happened this week in the blues, and there were quite a few, be sure to follow our social media pages or go out and visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week, so we'll see you then.